What's going on, everyone? It's Alex here from Alex Physio. In this video, I'm just going to go over Tyrese Haliburton's recent injury in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. So I believe that he had just sustained an Achilles tendon rupture, and there's a couple reasons why I believe this may have been the case. One of the reasons is you can tell that as he's lying down, he looks back, and that's one of the characteristics of an Achilles tendon rupture is you look behind you because it seems or it feels like somebody kicked you in the leg. That's what the sensation of that Achilles tear is like. So you see him doing that. That's number one. The other thing is, if you look at his right leg, the moment that he lands or that he starts to go, he's in a plantarflex position. That's one of the functions of the calf muscles. The main function is plantarflexion, or pushing off of your toes, or pointing your toes down towards the ground. But then as he's trying to get that first step, he's going from that plantarflexion position, and then he's bringing his heel down. He's bringing his heel down towards the ground. So that's a dorsiflexion. So the opposite movement of plantarflexion. So plantarflexion, you're pulling on that heel via the Achilles, because the Achilles connects the muscle to bone, so the calf to the heel, and then he's going from that plantarflexion to dorsiflexion position. So you're going from pulling on that heel to now stretching your Achilles. So from tightening of the Achilles or shortening of the Achilles and the muscle to lengthening via the stretch. And that acceleration deceleration movement is what would trigger, or that change in kind of speed of the movement is sometimes just too much for the foot and ankle and lower leg to handle, especially because he's had those previous calf strains. So the threshold for him to injure the calf and possibly even the Achilles, is what I'm suggesting, is higher. This is similar to what happened with Kevin Durant, in which he had that calf strain before and then he played and he tore his Achilles. So that's one of the other reasons, that acceleration deceleration movement. And then you can also see the violent shortening of that tendon muscle complex if you look closely at that video as well. And then obviously the agony and his reaction of what he witnessed or what he felt at the moment that it happened when you look at the video afterwards. So there's a couple indicators that I believe he has sustained an Achilles rupture. Is it a full rupture or a partial rupture? Obviously, we wouldn't be able to know for sure without an MRI or doing the objective examination of him. There is a common test. It's called the Thompson test, or the calf squeeze test. So basically, you get the individual lying on their stomach, and then you squeeze their calf. And under normal conditions, if the Achilles isn't torn, then you'll see that toes pointing down, that plantar flexion movement. But if somebody does have an Achilles tear, then when you squeeze the calf, there's no movement actually happening at the calf for them to be able to do, because that Achilles is not attached to the heel bone, so it's not doing that muscle action. So those are probably the tests that they're going to be doing an MRI as well to confirm for sure. But unfortunately, what I suspect is that it is an Achilles tendon rupture, and usually the timelines for recovery with those is 9 to 12 months. And it's a long road to recovery, and this is one of those things in the sport, you can't beat physiology. If you have those previous calf strains, it predisposes you to having an injury that may be more severe, and sometimes that can result in that Achilles tendon rupture. You can work on load management, you can have the desire to want to be able to play, but sometimes it just, those are some of the things that happen, unfortunately. And wishing him obviously a speedy recovery, and hopefully he gets back on the court as soon as possible, as soon as healthily possible and appropriate. But those are my initial thoughts. Have you ever had an Achilles tear or an Achilles rupture? Let me know what your experience has been with physio, and if you've had physio, if you treated it surgically or non-surgically, let me know down in the comments below. And until then, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.